Welcome to my childhood home in Valheim. This is the campfire outside in our yard. And yes, it's a trailer. I grew up in a trailer. The measurements are 14 foot by 80 foot, according to my brother, which is way larger than I thought it was, to be honest. Now, in order to get these measurements, each one of my 2 meter posts I changed to 4 feet, using the power of my imagination. So each beam or whatnot is 4 feet, and each square floor tile is 4 foot by 4 foot. So I was able to get the measurements pretty exact using that ratio. And like I said, 14 foot by 80 foot. I had initially thought that this thing was like no more than 60 foot. So when I tried cramming all the stuff on the inside, I was losing my mind because it wasn't working. So I had to text my brother in the middle of the night and was like, hey, how long was our house growing up? And he's like, oh, it's 80 foot. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that was huge. So it took me 20 2 meter beams in order to get this length. And let's see, 3 2 meter beams and a 1 meter beam. Now each 2 meters is, like I said, 4 foot. Here's my dad's porch that he built when we moved into this area. So we moved the trailer from elsewhere, and this is where we would stack our wood and whatnot for the winter time. So anyway, we'll start out with the living room tour. Got a couple of couches here, got an entertainment center there. Now there was usually 3 couches because we had a lot of people in the house. I had 4 brothers, 2 sisters, or 3 brothers, sorry, and 2 sisters. And then my parents, obviously. This is my parents' bedroom. That shelf on the right was where my mom would keep her stuff and her little elephant knickknacks. And then on the left is my dad's side. Here's their bathroom. Cute little quaint, bathroom. This is where my mom would store her blankets and extra, towels and stuff. And right there in the corner, that little shelf there, that's where my parents would have their little TV. And then there's their closets right there as well. And we're back in the living room. 2 big windows on the sides. And then you got our main entrance door. Look at this nice, countertop right here. It's pretty awesome. Then there's the cooking stove right there. And then you got our sink and windows, some cupboards, the fridge right there. And then in here, this is where our trash would go and our laundry. So washer dryer in there. And also our back door that never had a porch because we didn't own any part of the land on the other side, so there was no point. Got our fireplace here. My dad would wake up every morning in the wintertime and make sure our fire was going. The wood would get stored underneath, and he would cook us breakfast and wake us up for school. We'd usually eat eggs and bacon or eggs and potatoes on this little table here. Got 4 pretty nice sized windows. My mom would always have these lined with shelves with plants and stuff. And then we go into the hallway. This is where, when we first moved in, my 2 sisters would sleep. And this was pretty much always had a bunk bed in it, this room. Put the workbench in here because it's pretty central. And then this is the closet here. Yeah, used to always be a bunk bed in here. Because like I said, we had a lot of people living in the house. We always had guests over too, because we had so many different people with different groups of friends. Here's the other side of the house's bathroom, a little bit smaller. This shelf right here doesn't quite fit the way I would want it to. There was a little bit of space between the toilet, I swear. um, but yeah, it turned out pretty cool. And we'll go into the boys' room. So there was 4 of us in total in here, and there was a huge bunk bed where 2 or 3 of us would sleep on at one point, and then the top would be reserved for the eldest, of course. And the bottom was like massive, and it would fold into a couch, and that was really awesome. Here's my turtle tank. So this is the version that, when I became the oldest kid in the house, that's the version of that room that I lived in. And so that's the entire house. We'll come back out here onto the porch. My dad built this walkway from scrap wood. He used to be a carpenter. And then, yeah, you always find us back here, my parents and their friends sipping on some beer or something. Not always my mom. She wasn't much of a beer drinker. But yeah, you definitely find tons of my dad's friends out here drinking beer. And then as we grew up, the kids would come out, and as they got older and were allowed to drink, they would drink out here as well. And we would all hang out anyway. Didn't matter. And there was a trampoline on my back left. And we would just play for days here. And it was so much fun. We'd have so many parties here. It was just amazing. And I just love it. I love this whole callback to my home because I miss it. This is what I honestly call home. I grew up here ever since I was 8. And it's just such a memory-filled place. And I couldn't help but, build it in this game. I really hope you guys like this. I do have a how-to build coming out soon for this. I filmed the whole process, so please like, comment, share, subscribe, and maybe I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.